remarks from the Managing Director of the Guyana Water Incorporated, Dr. Richard Van West Charles.
Good evening, everyone. Madam Mistress of Ceremonies, Honorable Keith Scott, Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, members of the board, members of the corporate management team, managers, fellow workers, colleagues, all. This activity culminates the month of activities which marks the 15th anniversary of GWI, Guyana Water Inc. We've had a good month of activities, permitting staff to intermingle across from Linden to Berbice to Georgetown. And as I was leaving Saturday from the athletics event, one of the workers said to me, "Well, MD, we got to go to Essequibo next." And indeed we shall. But this day is to celebrate our workers, to celebrate their contribution to the service of this nation. This company has a long tradition. We are marking 15 years of Guyana Water Inc., built on more than 60 years of GS&WC and GWI. So it has a long tradition, a long history. And as I look at the audience, I see the former First Executive Mayor, Mavis Ben, and I see Mr. Jor. And may I also recognize the representative of the Indian High Commission. So for us, the success of this company is clearly dependent on the quality and the well-being of its workforce. Very, very critical. And we are guided by three principles. Basically, equity, fairness, and justice, working in an environment of peace and not conflict, of understanding of the central importance of our customers, both internal and external, of quality and striving to achieve the highest level of efficiency and effectiveness. So, upon that foundation, let me take this opportunity on behalf of management to say to you, our workers, thank you. Thank you for the sacrifice. All categories of workers, from the managers, the supervisors, the craftsmen, from the workers who are working with our contractors. All of you have caused us to really deliver service. We do have some issues, and we are going to strive from day to day to get to that high level of efficiency and effectiveness. Development cannot be achieved and be sustainable without human capital. Hence, investment in our workers is paramount. In GWI, as we embarked on the road over the last 20 months, striving to gain efficiency and more effectiveness we have conducted gap analyses in the different departments. And we've used it to guide our investment with our workers, with our staff, with our professionals. From October 2015 to May 2017, we have invested approximately $67 million in the development of human capital in this company. And we have invested in a number of areas. In information technology, in the operations with respect to well drilling, water treatment plant design, wastewater treatment plant design, in the area of customer relations, customer service, we've conducted quite a lot of training because we understand the center of our universe is our customer. But as we address the workers, we have to remember that the workers have families also. And we haven't covered all of the bases with respect to the workers. Many workers, engineers, other workers leave their homes to go into the interior. Recently we sent a team into Madhya. Recently we sent some engineers to look at the flood. Young engineers, the water quality staff, Engineer Duncan, Engineer French, Avinash and the team. With risk. And one of the things which we haven't done as yet and which we have to do is to ensure that these workers, when they go into these high-risk areas, are insured so that if anything unfortunate were to happen, their families are at least protected. That's part of our unfinished business, which we have to do. We have, in the main, a very committed workforce, very, very committed. Many of our citizenry do not know when the systems break down, the long hours that the workers have got to work. Some of the guys in Georgetown with an old network that breaks frequently, and what they have to do and work to ensure that in the morning the workers across the country, in Georgetown in particular, can have some water. And recently was a good example when we had a major electrical fault. Our staff, but I want also to mention, together with GPL staff, worked to ensure that the system is stabilized. And I want to ask you to give them a round of applause. Procurement is a very important function for GWI. And sometimes we have ups and downs. But I want to particularly thank our professionals who participate throughout the years in the evaluation committees and have done hard work and trying to be fair, trying to give justice and equity in making a decision in the awards. Are there some issues? Yes. But what is important is that the minority who is not satisfied sometimes with the results of this process should not and must not seek to impugn the integrity and the character of these professionals who commit to doing a task of national importance. And so I want to thank you, all of you, who have participated in this process, and to encourage you notwithstanding. Because, you know, sometimes we may be dissuaded by these comments. And for me, I was very disturbed, and I am disturbed at times, when people's character, people's professional integrity sometimes is maligned. And so I had a discussion with my wife some time ago on this matter. Because, you know, I have to discuss some of these issues with my partners, whether she's here or whether she is overseas, because I have to speak to her every night. And I want to give you a quote she sent me. She said, "Let us not forget that we live in the 21st century, the age of social media, where everything we do or do not do is on public display and at the speed of light. We are here to do the people's business. Let me say that clearly again. Every leader is in their position since they represent the people, John Public. Gone are the days when we can indulge in yard-fowl behavior, fighting over which one gets more paddy than the other. Believe me when I say there is only one way in which it can end, and that is the people's business will not get done. And guess what? When last I checked, leadership is all about exemplary behavior in the face of those we represent. Remember, when they go low, we go high." Unquote. And that is my dear wife. But I want to say to you that you are good, committed Guyanese. And that's the important thing. You are good, committed Guyanese. Commit to your fellow man, and you commit to the company. And we are going to go in a different direction to ensure that our citizens are going to have a good service, a service of quality. And as the President directs, based on equity, because there's a lot of work for us to address in the hinterland communities, where the quality, I just received some reports of the quality of water in regions 8 and 7 as a result of the floods. And we can protect our fellow brethren once we do the right things. As I leave you, I just want to leave one other quote with you from the late first executive president, Forbes Burnham. And he said, "In our hands lies the safety of this republic. Let these be safe hands. It is in our hands." Thank you.
I guilty but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. Love will live, love never leaves you empty-handed. I hope you still be small when you stand beside the ocean. But never one more closer to hold and one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And then you get the choice to set it out or dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
Our next speaker is going to add a little bit to that as he talks in a bigger capacity. Let's now welcome to our stage to give the keynote address, Honorable Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Minister Keith Scott.
Comrade, 50 years is a long time. And I want to congratulate both employers, managers, and employees, of course, for the contributions which they have made to the successful marriage of the two organizations that has now become one. The theme on which your achievements of this milestone is being observed is most interesting. The theme says, ensuring equity and improving quality. This theme is very philosophical and touches on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals which are pursued by the United Nations and countries like Guyana who seek to eradicate poverty from their culture. Here, I speak about us and our outstanding performances as workers, who today, again, we're honoring. But I can't allow this opportunity to at least not fleetingly mention the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which I quote, ensure availability and sustainability, management of water and sanitation for all. There are certainly some similarities in this goal and your team, and whether or not you know it, I commend you for being thoughtful and insightful. Comrades, the world is facing a crisis from insufficient potable water. And while it may seem to be far-fetched, it is not unreasonable to forecast that Guyana will one day be a destination of choice and a country of preference for its adequate supply of premium quality water, which you have mastered the art of producing. It is in this regard that the management and the staff of GWI need to be applauded. You only have to think of some islands in the West Indies and the perennial water shortage. You only have to think about some countries where you have to turn to the sea and do the desalination to get water. And then you remember Guyana, the land of many waters, has an opportunity that one day we'll even be exporting water to some of those other very islands, who today might seem to be a little bit more ahead of us. But we have a resource that many are envious for. There's no secret then that many organizations throughout the world theoretically embrace the concept of human resources being their most valuable and important resource. But in reality, that is not true. In many instances, there is a disconnect between their speeches and their actions. This afternoon, I have no difficulty in hypothesizing and say that the extent to which a company values its human resources can be measured by the length of time that the majority of that resource remains with the company. The rate of attrition in any company reflects the value which it places on its human resources. It is therefore a good gesture to award and reward those employees who have shown loyalty, consistency, and commitment over the years and have stayed with this company throughout its adversities. I'm sure that there were good times and bad times as well, but you nevertheless stuck with GWI, and for that, we cannot thank you enough. Many companies are plagued by high rates of attrition, and I'll therefore ask the question, why do employees leave? In fact, some scholars have even asked today, why do good employees leave? While many persons have searched for answers to these very questions, the University of Harvard have suggested the other question which must also be asked, which is, why do employees stay? As we seek answers to these questions, I find a statement in a Harvard Business Review to be very interesting. It says, and I quote, if management concentrate on understanding why employees stay, then they can act to reinforce the right reasons. In other words, they can take a positive approach to managing retention, which is and will be more than and more effective over the long run than ordinary negative approach of simply reducing turnover. End of quote. Without looking any further, I can submit that the management of GWI has done well in managing retention. And that is why today so many persons are being awarded, rewarded, and recognized sincerely for their commitment. Several factors are known to be contributing to an employee's longevity of service to a company. Among these are motivation and job satisfaction, which does not necessarily mean satisfaction with the level of remuneration alone. It took industrial psychologists a long time to understand that while money and other tangible values may be very good motivators, the quality of relationships between employee and an employing company can positively impact on the level of commitment and, by extension, the length of time that an employee stays with a company. I have no doubt in my mind that the worker management relations in this cooperation are worthy of emulation. The relationship between a company and its employees is one of interdependence. And the more the company values the employee's contribution, the more recognition the company would give to its employees. I think that we are witnessing today an excellent example of a company recognizing the contributions of its employees and have made and decided today to give back. Award ceremonies such as today's events are not unknown in the business environment, but I believe that this one will make a difference. It is a different one because it synchronizes with the organization's goals, which those individuals and those at the time of the encompassing of the 6th of the United Nations 17 SDGs. Employees who serve companies the longest add the greatest value to the companies. They help to promote efficiency and in the process augment productivity, which is a premium value these days. The very example of longevity itself is what can inspire those young recruits, those young workers now be coming on with a sense of belonging. the sense of ownership. They will have to feel that they too can serve a long time, that they too, given the opportunity, will be able to contribute not only what we have learned from those that will be going and have gone before, but that they will know that they have the opportunity for them to be given their own scope to also not only contribute, but to develop and to bring fresh skills and fresh inputs to the growth of GWI.
आज ब्रिज में है होली रसिया, इतने आए हैं कुंवर कन्हैया।
आज ब्रिज में है होली रसिया, इतने आए हैं कुंवर कन्हैया।
आज है दोनों रे दोनों मगन, राधा को अपनाने आए किशन।
So we'll keep things moving along as we've been doing, and quite nicely, I must add, as we take time out to show not just a recognition but appreciation. Let's now welcome to the stage Public Relations Officer for the Ghana Water Incorporated, Ms. Liana Bradshaw, as we get set to meet and, of course, award and show appreciation for the 10 and 15-year awardees.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the welcome. I hope everyone is excited. I see all our awardees sitting there looking very bright and very beautiful. And of course, the men, you look handsome. So we'll start off with 10. I'll ask Keen to assist me. And first off, to give these presentations, I'll call on Mr. Jagopal Ram to assist me with these presentations. He is the Executive Director of Finance. Kindly put your hands together for him. And the first awardee we have tonight is Mr. Carlos Rodriguez.
Okay, so yes, guys, that's to show how much I love you, and we wish you nothing but the best, of course, in all of your endeavors. Be good to every one of you. Please do not take your jobs for granted. Please don't. Sometimes it could be dirty, sometimes it could be tough, but somebody has to do it. Finance, I know you don't get recognized a lot because people get upset. You know, they do something today, they want their money today. So I must say thank you for always being on the ball, especially in this era of transparency and ensuring that everything is accurate and correct. Roylene and team, thank you very much for being patient. Not me, I don't call, I'm a good person. So thank you. Have a great remainder to your evening. Ensure you mingle. If you haven't seen a colleague in a while, you know, ensure you don't leave without saying hi. If there's somebody here, you probably don't know them, you haven't seen them, go say hi. And have a great remainder to your evening, and please all get home safely. Bye-bye.